As an employer, what kind of employer do you want to be? What kind of boss do you want to be? The first thing I would say is you want to be a fair employer. What does that mean? Pay your nanny very well, as much as you can pay them. I'm not saying overpay them, but you don't want to underpay them. You can give them bonuses every now and then if you want to, if you can afford to. You can buy gifts for them. You can say, you know, your thank yous. You can apologize when something happens. Be fair. Treat your nanny as a human being. Don't look at it that I am paying this person, so this person should be, you know, kissing my feet, wiping my... No, please be fair to your employees. Be relaxed. Relax, chill. Don't be a drill sergeant to your nanny. Some of us are so, let me use the word regimented, so orderly about lives. Not everybody is that way. So relax a little bit. Be a little bit flexible with your nanny. Your nanny is going to get it wrong the first number of months that they're with you. You people are in a new relationship. It's going to be a learning process for yourself because you're learning about the nanny, for the nanny as well, because they're learning about you and also learning about the children as well. We just want to make sure that, you know, those mistakes are genuine mistakes and that the nanny is, you know, taking in corrections and not a nanny that feels that they cannot be, you know, corrected. So relax as much as possible. Do not be a drill sergeant. I would not want to work for a drill sergeant. Somebody that, you know, everything is just chop, 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 chop. It makes life more difficult. So take a chill pill, boss lady, and relax. The third thing you want to do is you want to trust. And why do I say trust? Even though for everybody that has a nanny, I recommend have a camera system in your house. Now, you know, we've seen too many of these videos to be naive. I remember one time I saw a video and, you know, I was texting one of my, you know, sister friend. I'm like, I hope you have a video in your house because look at what I just saw on the internet. And she's like, I don't have a video. I'm like, go get a camera right now. Put a camera in your house, regardless of the trust that you have for this person. The other thing is trust. What do I mean by trust? Don't approach your nanny with a sense of suspicion all the time. You know, as first, just learn to trust first. Let that person break that trust before you start being suspicious of that person. And also make sure that you use your camera as much as possible. The other thing is you want to be appreciative. Say your thank you. We know that you're paying them, but, you know, saying thank you, sorry, good morning, you know, just courtesy, especially if that person is African like you. They like all these small things. And if that person is a little bit older, it doesn't hurt to say good morning, good afternoon. Yeah, you might not be in the mood to say good morning, but please, that person is a whole human being. You know, we don't want to talk about age because we know that some nannies have misused that. But just be appreciative as much, you know, as much as possible. Be appreciative. Be respectful. Be respectful. Even when the nanny does something wrong, talk to them in, you know, as humans until they break the code before you show them your own color. You know, at least be respectful to them as much as you can. Don't treat your nanny like a dog and say, you know, and address them shabbily, especially in front of the kids or in front of your guests. You know, treat them with respect, the respect that they deserve. It's the way you carry your nanny that your guests and other people around you will address your nanny. So, you know, it's the same thing with our families. It's the way we present our families that other people would follow suit to either respect our family members or disrespect our family members. As much as possible, respect that nanny, at least until that nanny now shows that they are not worthy of your respect before you now put them in their place. Clear communication. Clear communication is huge, cannot be overemphasized. A lot of times, you know, maybe you have a change in your schedule or something is going on, make sure you carry your nanny along. Don't let it be that later they now find out that, oh, this is what is going on. I'm going to be needing to change my hours next week and you did not communicate with this person. They're not going to be happy with you. So make sure that you have clear communication with your nanny. Be patient. I think I've talked a little bit about this before. Be patient with your nanny. Know that your nanny is human. They will make mistakes, but give them a long rope, a very long rope, as long as no safety issue is involved. As long as no safety issue is involved, give them a long rope. You know, at times we all come together with different personalities, different backgrounds and all. You know, be patient a little bit before you fire that nanny. It's a whole process trying to find another one. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't fire a nanny that does something really horrible to you or your kids, okay? Because you have a nanny doesn't mean that you shouldn't be involved. Be involved with your children. You are their parents. You are their mother. You are their father. I want to say, you know, especially to all the fathers, the nanny is not just your wife's business. The nanny is your business as well. So be involved in the issues. Be involved in the matter. It doesn't mean that you might not be the first and person that addresses the nanny, but be part of the decision making as well, so that the nanny knows that these people are standing together. So it is very important. Be involved with the issues going on. Be involved with your children. The fact that you have a nanny doesn't mean that you now leave the children to the nanny only. The children are yours, remember. So make sure that you are involved with your children as much as possible. The ones that can talk will talk to you. You know, our children they're very smart and they're very vocal. Like when we were growing up, they're very vocal. So, you know, involve with your children, talk to them. If there's something going wrong, you're likely to find out from your children first. Also, when you have a nanny in your house in the beginning, make sure that you are watching your children. Is there any change in their behavior? Is there any change in, you know, their body language or their, you know, their usual pattern? Look into that. Is it just because they've been exposed to a new environment, a new person, or is there something wrong that is going on? Let's be very vigilant. Let's be very, very vigilant. Don't abandon your children for the nanny. Make sure that you are involved as much as possible. And the last one, when it comes to what kind of employer do you want to be, is that you want to be a team player with your nanny. And what does that mean? If your nanny sets boundaries for the children, say for example, you might set a bedtime of say 8 p.m. for your children, but the nanny knows that it takes longer for them to settle down and the nanny wants them to go to bed by 7:45. You know, it's not a big deal. Don't break the nanny's rule. First, talk and discuss with the nanny and say, hey, I don't think that 7:45 would work. I just want them to, you know, spend more time with them. So I want them to go to bed at 8 o'clock. It doesn't matter if they settle down on time or they don't settle down on time. Don't just, you know, break the nanny's rule. The children will become confused. They will just feel that the nanny is a figurehead and doesn't have any part in their lives. So make sure that you are cooperating with the nanny as much as possible. I want us to talk about the kind of nanny that you do not want to get. Number one, you don't want to get a sexy nanny. Yes, you don't want to get a sexy nanny. I remember it's been like maybe 4 years now. We were on vacation, myself, my husband, and a couple of friends, and we're just sitting at a table, and you know, we're talking and all that. One of the couples said, oh yeah, they have to call, or something came up about the nanny, and they were talking about this nanny that they had, this girl, and they said, somebody said, show us the picture of the nanny. They brought out the picture of the nanny. I said, this is your nanny? I told them, if you're watching this video, please put there if I'm lying. And they said, you don't have a nanny, oh. This Sissy that I'm seeing cannot nanny for you. Maybe she's just doing it part-time because she needs the money or something. This nanny was super, super, super sexy. Carrying designer bag and everything. Please, I know that some of us might not agree with me, but this is my thoughts on that. If a nanny is sexy, nanny will be in your house wearing lingerie and all these short things, and you don't need that kind of nanny in your house, okay? Please, get a nanny that has, you know, a born-again nanny that is not sexy, because some born-again too try to prove sexiness. So, I'm sorry. Get a non-sexy nanny that will just do their job and will not focus on their self-care, their look, their, you know, and stuff like that. So people have even mentioned to me that if you are a nanny in their house, they want you to wear a certain cloth code or uniform. That's what I've heard. Seriously speaking. Some people say you have to wear uniform. You don't wear, like, you know, all these jeans and whatever that will bring up all your bum as a nanny. And when you are bending to pick the child, or guy is busy, you know, philandering. So we don't want that. Please, if you know you can't take it. Some people, they are fine with it. They don't care. They're very secured. You know, I like women like that. Very secured. So if you can take it, that's fine. The other kind of nanny that you don't want, a grandmother wannabe. If you have a nanny that wants to stand in the place of grandmother for you, or the nanny keeps telling you, I'm your mother, I can be your mother. No, mama, you can't, because you are not. You are not this boss lady's grandmother or mother. Everybody knows their mother. Even in our culture, we respect everybody and we call people mommy, daddy. It's just a form of respect. It doesn't mean that that person is your biological mother or your biological father or your real auntie. It's a form of respect. And as a nanny, if you like yourself, whether you call yourself grandmother, you call yourself mother, some people, they know how to dish it out. The minute you cross the line, whether they call you great-grandmother, they will give it to you. So, please, don't assume that, I know I'm jumping now, don't assume that if you are coming to be nanny, you are going to be mother to them, like a mother figure. It doesn't work like that. You are an employee of the house, okay? That right from the beginning, they are telling you, oh yeah, you're like my daughter. You're like a daughter to me. I have a daughter your age. That's fine. You can have a daughter their age, but it doesn't mean that that person is your daughter. After all, if you go and you're babysitting or you're nannying for your daughter, you won't collect money now. So in this one, if they are paying you, ma, you are the nanny, not the grandmother. So as an employer and as a boss, employer, if you are interviewing and that person is already, you know, telling you, oh, you remind me of my daughter, wrong fit. Next. Third kind of nanny you don't want, an entitled nanny. An authoritarian nanny. Listen, I have seen all sorts. I remember one time, this person, sister friend of mine, I saw her with this nanny. And the way I was seeing this nanny, I won't tell you where, because some of you would decode. And the way I was seeing this nanny, I said, this nanny will not last with this girl. So I called her. I said, hey, Happy, this your nanny? Is this your nanny like a pastor from somewhere before? She said, ah, yes. In fact, that nanny is a big pastor from Nigeria. I said, and you employ her as a nanny? She won't stay. You employ a pastor as a nanny? It won't work. I'm sorry. I've seen it like twice now. It won't work. Because, you know, as pastors are used to giving order, being in authority, so we know that when people come to the States, you know, we all kind of, we are all conditioned, right? Conditioned to work in McDonald's even though you don't want to work in McDonald's, condition to work in nursing home even though you don't want to work in nursing home, condition to do nanny job because you don't want to do nanny job. Every time that nanny will be praying some kind of prayer that's, Lord, deliver me from this situation. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not saying don't give somebody that's been a pastor a job, but you have to, it has to be somebody that's it will be hard to work. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the comments, please. Because somebody that is just feels really entitled, or somebody that tells you, oh, I used to live in London, and when I was in London, it will not work because already they feel that they are above you. So how can they take orders from you as your employee? It will be hard. So know the kind of nanny that you will bring into your house. Once you see the red flag, don't assume that, you know, this person will change. Let me just try. It might end up being a nightmare for you. So as much as possible, do your interview very well. Make sure you read body language. The one thing I've not said since is references. I know I'm jumping all over now. Please forgive me. References. Make sure you collect reference and you call the reference. Although some of the references have been told can be very partial because they feel like, oh, I don't want to ruin this person's chances of getting a job, so they won't tell you the full story until problem happens. And I say, yeah, when she was with me, I had that kind of problem with her. So without seeming partial, let me address the nannies a little bit, right? Advice that I have for you as a nanny, okay? The first thing I will tell you is, that small girl is your boss. Is she paying you? Did she employ you? Are you living under a roof? No matter how small she is your boss. Take it or leave it. If you go for an interview as a nanny and you feel that this couple interviewing me, they are too small, they can be like my great grandchildren, why should I answer to them? They don't take their job, okay? Don't take their job. Because a lot of times, some nannies will take job and then they will now start saying, that small girl, see the way she's talking to me? Yes, even us, we go to work. And when we get to work, people that are smaller than us are talking to us that way too. And guess what? We have to take some of it too because, listen, it's our job. We want to feed our family. So there are some things that come with some kind of job. I'm not advocating that somebody should be, you know, mercilessly rude to their nanny. But if you're a nanny, know that no matter how small that girl is, she's not your child. She's your boss. The second one goes with the first one as well. As a nanny, please respect your employers. Don't talk about them on the phone. Because guess what? The camera is listening and they can hear what you're saying about them on the phone. Don't despise them because, you know, they can afford to pay you or because of their status in life. Please don't despise them. Okay? God will help all of us. The third thing is the children they have employed you to take care of. Treat them very well. Treat those children very well. That's your job. You can imagine you being paid for a job and you not doing it. So it's not fair. It doesn't even make sense, right? We all have jobs. We go to our job. We do our jobs, you know, and we get paid. We have to make sure that we are treating, that you are treating the children. Make sure you're treating those children very well. And there are some children that they are hard to offend in this life. That child can be a baby. Go and ask some people that maybe try to abort some children that failed. Those children have hard heads. There's nothing you can do to them. You offend them, you will catch your own. That's just it. Jokes apart, let's treat the children very well. It just pains me a lot of times when I see all this video of nannies beating children, small children, shaking them. That child cannot speak, but remember that child has a God that can speak and that can fight for them. If you treat children that you are hired to take care of, you treat them poorly, the camera will catch you, and you will go to jail. It's so simple. And jail in America is not as easy as they say, especially if you know, if you go to jail, they find out that you are a child abuser. Oh, if they don't kill you inside that jail, it will remain small. So please, let's treat children that we are hired to take care of. Let's treat them well. Okay. The other thing is, for nannies, do not take out your frustration on your boss or the children. A lot of times, a lot of people do the nanny job because they don't have a better job yet. They're just using it to fill in, to make money, or maybe they have problem with their children where they're living and the children pursue them out and say, go and do nanny job, you to go and work and see what it feels like before you come and run my life for me, right? So you are there in these people's house. Don't take out your frustration on this young couple and their children. Have the fear of God. Do not take out your frustration on your boss or the children. Whatever your frustration may be, take it to the Lord in prayer. He answers it. And the last thing for the nannies is be flexible. Be flexible. Your boss is not, perfect. Some things might happen that they might want you to maybe do one or two things for them. Be flexible. It helps to make the relationship better. Be flexible and be flexible. Okay? All right. I guess that is it for me this week for you guys. It's been a long talk on nannies and their employers and their employees. I want you guys, don't leave me hanging. Join in this conversation. Tell me a story about, what you've had to endure, with a nanny before. How did you survive? What tactics did you use? If you're a nanny and you feel that I didn't speak, for you guys, call me. Let's talk. What do you expect from an employer? I want to hear your end of the story as well. I know personally, not all nannies are bad, and we should all know that. Not all nannies are bad. You only need to find the right fit for your family, right? And you have seen nannies that have evolved from just being nannies to being family member. Beautiful relationship, right? So not all nannies are bad, and we shouldn't look at it that way. At the same time, on the flip side, not all employers are bad. Not all boss ladies are bad, right? So it takes two to tango. There's no perfect nanny anywhere, and there's no perfect employer anywhere. It takes two to tango. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I want you guys to please leave a comment for me. What have you done in the past with your nannies, or what experience have you had with your nanny? How have you resolved any issue, if you've had any issue with a nanny in the past before? How are you doing with childcare now, especially in this COVID-19 season where children are home doing, school online? How are you coping with that? Talk to me, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. It is very important for me that you guys subscribe. I know the subscriptions, it keeps me coming back to do more videos for you guys. Make sure you share my video with your friends and your family, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.